Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. All right, so it's about 2:30 here in Japan. Check out those ads. Google knows what I like. Now, it's the 29th here, and it was the 23rd that I got the black Tudor. And let's check out how it's doing time-wise. Now, I set it at the station after I got it, but I haven't touched it since. And I set it to the second. Check it out now. It's still to the second. So the question is why? Now, if this was the Explorer 2, it's been about 6 days. My Explorer 2 runs about 4 or 5 seconds fast a day, so it would be about 30 seconds fast, and it would be about the time to reset it. But as you can see, the Tudor, give or take a second, is dead on.
Well, it's because it's got weaknesses, and you can use those weaknesses to your advantage. It has to do with the movement. So this watch has an ETA 2824-2 movement. That's a swatch group movement, and it's not just taken off the shelf and stuck in. Tudor decorates it. It's actually quite pretty. If you Google some images, you can see it. Now, it doesn't do me any good because I can't see it, but they do decorate it, and I'm assuming they tweak it and they refine it before casing it. Now, according to the seller, this watch is plus or minus 2 seconds a day, and I'm assuming that's dial up, because it's a characteristic of this movement that it varies depending on the positioning. All right, so after 4 days of wearing it, and I really never took it off. I slept in it, and the only time I took it off is to take a shower. And I noticed it was hovering around perfect. It was plus or minus a second. And I thought that was odd. I thought, okay, I don't know why, but I was assuming it was going to be +2 a day. So I was assuming, like a Rolex, if you were to get a Rolex that was +2 a day, it was just constantly +2, +2, +2 a day. But after 4 days, it was dead on. And day before yesterday, I took it off to sleep. I wanted to wear the Casio to bed, and so I checked the time. It was about +1, and I laid it down, crown up. And when I got up the next day, I checked it, and it was about a half a second slow. So it had lost some time during the night. And during the day, I wore it, and by that evening, it had caught up, and it was dead on. And so I realized that crown up, I could slow it down. So you can, with at least this watch, and I'm assuming this movement, you can regulate it without getting into the crown, and that's great. That's great. Now, I've had this happen before, and it's sort of a lucky realization. I had it happen with my grandfather's wedge field, and I thought, this wedge field is awesome. And you could wear it for a year and just check the time before you go to bed, position it the way it needs to be positioned, and you would never have to get into the crown. Now, the only reason I really didn't start wearing that watch, well, 2 reasons: because it's my grandfather's watch and I'm really protective over it, and also waterproofing. So I thought, as nice and practical as this watch is not as usable as something like a Rolex. But this is it's got a triple lock crown, and I don't have to worry about water damage with this. So I feel like I have the same sort of situation, but with a more usable watch. Now, it begs the question, is this a better watch than any of my Rolexes? And I guess the answer would be yes and no. Now, if you look at the purpose of a watch, the ultimate purpose, the intrinsic role, the teleology of a watch. It's to tell time, and it's to keep time, and that's sort of its greatest good, its greatest virtue. And after 6 days, this is telling perfect time. Is it a better watch? Well, by that standard, I would say so. Now, before you think I'm throwing Rolex under the bus, Rolex is consistent, and that's an engineering marvel in itself. When you get a Rolex, if it's +4 a day, it's going to be +4 every single day for the next couple of years. You can count on it. It's consistence and it's consistency, and achieving that consistency is an amazing achievement from Rolex. In theory, in practice, well, weaknesses can work in your favor. And you used to be able to position a Rolex to tweak the time, speed it up a bit, slow it down a bit, and again, Google how to position your Rolex to lose and gain time, and check out the images on Google, and you'll see the piece of paper that they used to stick in with watches, and they don't do that anymore because the balance bridges and the mechanics are so good that it doesn't work. Any position is going to give you the same +2 a day or +4 a day, whatever it has. So Rolex has improved theoretically, but in practice, which would you rather have? It's an interesting question. Now, we don't just wear watches to tell the time. There are a lot of other reasons, and Rolex ticks off a lot of boxes that don't pertain to just telling the time. I don't need to list the reasons, but maybe I should make it in another video, the virtues of Rolex, because they are many. They are fantastic time-telling machines, obviously, but in practice, when you get perfection through error, then it just makes you sort of question the Rolex a bit, just a little bit. I still love the Rolexes, but it's kind of interesting. So, what do you think? I mean, is this Tudor better than all 3 of my Rolexes? What would you say? Take care. Thanks for watching. See you next time.